I realized something when I finished that last video. I thought that I was done. I wasn't, because I've got to do 5 videos a day for a few days just to kind of relieve some of the extra pressure for the rest of these days. So, what's that look like? Well, let me tell you what this is all about. First of all, I am part of the Harry the Big Dog 100 video live stream challenge. Okay. And that is 30 days, 100 videos. All of the participants are doing. Now, it's a personal challenge. Not everybody is going to do 100, but everybody who wants to have the 100 video breakthrough is going to do that in their 30 days. Some started late, some started at the beginning of October, some started later on in October and then played catch up. I'm one of those. And I thought, when I realized that I did not fulfill my 5 today and I had to come back to do this last one, is that you've got to push through to honor your commitments. You got to honor your own commitments. This isn't a you thing. This isn't a them thing. This is a me thing. So in order for me to make good on my own promise to myself to get through these things and really knock out the value, I have to make sure that I show up even when I don't feel like it, which is why I'm up at GAM in the morning doing these live streams to make sure that I get them in before I lay my head down to sleep, close my eyes, and end up potentially missing the opportunity and the momentum of getting these videos knocked out. So I doubled down and said, okay, look, get it together, knock these things out, go back in there and do this next video. And that actually inspired me to come up with this particular topic. Now, I'm going to say this in total transparency. I have been a straight up victim of not honoring my own commitments to myself. And it's because I found it easier to default on my own commitment before, as opposed to defaulting on a commitment to somebody else. But there's something wrong with that model, because what in essence it's saying is that I value somebody else's mission more than I value the mission that God has given me for me and for those that He wishes to serve through me. And that's kind of weighty. When you think about that, it's like, wow, never really put that kind of weight to it until now. Well, of course, before now, but like I'm saying, this is what I think about now, because if we treat our own lives, our own destiny, our own existence as if it is second fiddle, like it does not matter, or it does not matter as much as the next person, then what we're saying is that the purpose that God has given us individually is not that important. And we end up stopping what He's told us to do in order to do for somebody else what He may have told them to do, but that's not our lane. What a thing to think about. Why is it that we tend to take the time in creating more energy and focus on other people's things than we do on the things that we've been given to do, ourselves, right? Why is that? So the thing is that we've got to focus in and say, okay, I've been given this opportunity in order to create whatever it is that God's given you. Okay. And for those of you, you probably know by now, I mean, I'm like 71 videos in. I talk about God a lot, right? And I associate God a lot with the things that I do. Because to me, without that association, then it kind of misses something. Okay, now that's me, you know. And if that's not your thing, I get it. I understand. I just want you to know that I'm aware that I say God a lot in my stuff, right? And it's intentional. I never want to get it twisted that I'm losing focus on who's given me what I've got, who's given me the talent that I have, and who's given me the initiative and the direction and the focus. I was working with, and I've worked with a few businesses over the years who were believer based and all of that. And I had to make sure that I did not end up uh, imposing my convictions on them, because each person, when you are allowing yourself to be obedient to your calling, you got to figure that out and see what it is that God has given you and how you're supposed to show up in your marketplace. Me, this is how I show up in my marketplace. And it's never been an issue because, I've gotten into some pretty interesting conversations, and they usually turn out pretty awesome. And not because I'm sitting there, saying, oh, you got to believe this way. It's just that, I don't say you have to believe any kind of way, but I will tell you what I believe if you ask me. So, okay, so that's a side note. So back to this whole thing about pushing through to honor your own commitment. You know, it's not as easy to do when you have a habit of not doing it. So the process and the practice is, let me make a micro commitment and then fulfill that commitment for myself so that I can see, number one, that I can value who I am in this process and actually accomplish it. But then I can build the habit and the muscles of doing this more and more, and then growing in the amount of commitment that I make to fulfill the initiative or the directive that God has given me. And then maybe in that process, just by doing what I do, others can see that and say, you know what, I got to do that too for myself. And ultimately, you got to do that for your purpose. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I really think that's it. I don't think I have a whole lot to say more about that. Um, Honor your commitments, make small agreements, fulfill on those agreements, and then continue to build. Find some folks that you could have in your life that you respect, that can keep you accountable, and make sure that it's folks that when they tell you or challenge you, you take it in the right light. Some people you just can't have do that because they trigger you in certain ways. And so instead of it, having a positive impact, it ticks you off, and then you actually get real stubborn and you don't do anything. I'm kind of like that in certain things with certain people. And I'm working on that. So what I do is I make sure that the folks that I have in my life are folks that can speak into my life, that I could say, that's right. Okay. I gotta own that. And now I've got to incorporate that into my life so that I can move forward. You know, um, yeah, I realize that there are certain people that you can have in your life that can either work to your benefit or to your detriment, and it all depends on how you take what they give you. And that's going to be a maturity thing in yourself. I know it's in me. It's a maturity thing for me where either A, I'm exhibiting the maturity to take in the information, regardless of who it comes from, in order to make sure that I can now continue to get better in my process, you know? So hopefully it's something that could be of help to you too. If you are in business or thinking of going into business, find those folks who can positively challenge you to greatness, and then hang on, because it's not always going to be a fun ride, because it's going to challenge a lot of structures that you have in place that weren't working for you before, that you need to deconstruct in order to be able to make things happen, quote unquote. We never really make things happen for ourselves, but to be in a position, to be positioned for things to happen on our behalf, because we prepared. We have been good stewards of the information and of the processes that are needed in order to get to the next level. And then as we get to that next level, we will train some more, and we will build capacity, And in building capacity, we'll build our network. And in building our network, more resources, more avenues, more opportunities will come available to us because now we have the resources in order to meet that based on the capacity that we've grown to. We always have to expand our capacity. And so we always have to put ourselves in those uncomfortable positions in order to grow. It's like going to a gym. When you lift the weights, initially, they're going to be heavy. And then after a while, they're not going to be heavy. You're not going to be shaking anymore. So then you have to increase the weight. And then when you increase the weight, you're back to shaking. But now your mindset, something has changed in there because you realize, yeah, I'm shaking right now. Yeah, I'm hating what's going on right now. I don't like the feeling. This is uncomfortable. But before, when it was, and I didn't know that it was going to pass, I thought it was the end of the world. Now I realize it's not the end of the world. So it's just a part of, it's the season. It's a new season, and I'm growing bigger muscles. I'm growing more flexibility. I'm expanding more capacity. I'm stretching. So, because of that, let me go through this. Let me push through because I know on the other side of this is going to be a massive amount of benefits. So let me just go through it. Head down, put the work in. Then you get to that next level, that breakthrough. And then that next breakthrough, you gather more capacity, more flexibility, more strength, more determination, more focus. And you're able to edit things out that don't belong because those things are derailments. So you're like, no, derailment, distraction. Nope, nope, no, thank you, nope. And you are shooing things away, editing them out so that you can stay focused. And then your focus gets more and more streamlined, more and more laser targeted. And before you know it, you are so focused that you're dealing with thing, the one thing, and you are so on target for that one thing. And the team that you have amassed, the colleagues that you have amassed, the associations that you've amassed are all pouring into you for you to get that laser targeted focus and hit the target. So it's amazing how that happens, but you can't have it happen if you don't make the moves. So allow yourself to make the moves, allow yourself to grow in capacity, and you do that by honoring your own commitments. Honor those, don't default from them, don't betray yourself in the process, and you will grow. All right, so that's my number 71. Okay, had to push it through. So I'm glad that I did. Hopefully, this message works for you. If it doesn't, send it to somebody who it does. Your message is not going to be for everybody who hears it, but you can encourage them to send it out to the person who will hear it. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. If this isn't the message for you, just send it to the person who you think could benefit from it. Maybe even the person that you don't think could benefit from it because they may be in a different space than you even realize. And they may be looking for this very information, this very word. All right. So I am the Jason Hodge, looking forward to completing and not just getting through the finish line, but I mean blowing it out of the water on this 100 video live stream challenge, the Harry the Big Dog 100 video live stream challenge, 30 days, 100 videos. I'll see you later. Have a great one. If you want to reach out to me, jasonhodge.biz, or put something down in the comments section, DM me, let me know that you want to connect with me. And then I've got a slew of links down there. Click on those, join all of those ones, reach out to me on those different pages. Each page is going to have something different going on, from your media planning and structuring business and interviews there to foodie interviews and the business of food on the Get in My Kitchen channel, to the Faithpreneur Media, all of our channels for Faithpreneur Weekend, the Faithpreneur Movement, are on the faithpreneur.media. So make sure that you connect with me on all of those channels, connect with my colleagues on all of those channels, and grow and edify yourself so that you can get the business information that you need, the personal development information that you need, the life growth information that you need. All right. On that note,